Hello and welcome to the MSL Loan Application Process webinar. My name is Anna Sharudo and I'm here with my colleague Chelsea Harmer to discuss the flow of the MSL Loan application from the time the installer creates a technical application to the time MassCEC approves the completed project. To give a bit of an overview of the entire process, there are three distinct phases that an application will go through. The first is the technical application phase, which the installer will be required to complete. The second is the loan support application phase, which is submitted by the lender. And the third is the project completion phase, which is done by the installer. First, the installer will submit the technical application, or TA, on the behalf of the customer through the MSL Loan Application portal. For information on how to submit an application, please visit on our website. We also have a webinar that walks installers through the online application portal. You can find a link to the webinar on our website under the Installers tab. If the installer has started the application process but has yet to submit the completed application, it will appear in the portal as TA saved. Once the installer has submitted the TA, the application will appear in the portal as TA awaiting signature. An application summary document will automatically be generated for both parties to sign electronically. The document will be sent via email from Right Signature. Both the installer and the customer will need to sign and date the document. Until both parties have signed, the application will remain in the TA awaiting signature phase.
After the customer and the installer have signed, the application will move to either income verification requested or to TA under review, depending on whether or not the customer is applying for income-based loan support. If the customer has chosen to apply for income-based loan support, they will need to begin the income verification process at this time. Please note, customers not applying for income-based loan support will move on to the next phase of the application process. Right now, we will be moving through as if the customer has chosen to apply for income-based loan support. Once the Right Signature document has been completed, the customer will receive an email from solarloanportal@masscec.com containing a link that will allow them to create an account with Incline, our third-party income verification consultant. After the applicant has provided Incline with all the necessary documents, their information will be sent to the IRS for review, which typically takes around 5 to 7 business days to complete. From there, Incline will send the applicant their eligibility letter via email, thereby moving the MSL loan application to TA under review. Please note the income verification must be completed before the application can be reviewed and approved by MassCEC, and that once a customer has closed on a loan, they will not be able to add income-based loan support. Once an application is moved to TA under review, it enters our queue. MassCEC will review applications in the order that they are submitted. Review times are generally between 3 to 5 business days. If an application has inaccurate or missing information, it will be moved to TA clarification requested. Some examples of why an application could be pushed back to this status might include missing or incomplete documents, inaccurate shading analysis, or simple typos. An application will be pushed back to TA clarification requested, indicating the issue or issues that need to be addressed, and will reopen for the installer to edit. Once the necessary changes are made, the installer must press Save and Submit at the bottom of the Documents tab in order for the application to re-enter the queue for review. Please note, resubmitted applications will enter at the bottom of the queue before being reviewed again. Therefore, the review will take an additional 3 to 5 business days each time an application gets kicked back for incomplete or inaccurate information. After an application has been reviewed and approved by MassCEC, it will move to TA completed status. Upon approval, an email with the technical confirmation will be sent to all parties. At this point, the customer will need to take the technical confirmation to one of the participating lenders and close on a loan.
Once a customer has closed on a loan, the application will enter the loan support phase. During this phase, the lender is responsible for claiming the project in the portal and inputting the loan details. The lender will sign off on these details via review. Once the loan support application is approved, the funding is officially reserved for the project. An email will be sent to all parties containing the loan support summary. If the lender has not already released the first 35% loan disbursement, this email will indicate that they should do so now. Although funds may be released before the application enters loan support application approved status, installers may not receive permission to operate from the utility until the project receives the loan support application approved status. We strongly encourage installers to check the status of their applications in the portal before applying for interconnection. The application will remain in the loan support application approved status until the installer begins to submit the completion documents. Once a project has the loan support application approved status, the installer can start to submit project completion information and materials, including the date in service, the actual installed equipment, the permission to operate letter, the final contract, and the installation photos. The status of the application will remain in project completion started until the materials are saved and submitted at the bottom of the Documents tab. Once the application is submitted, a right signature document will be generated for both the installer and the customer to review and sign. Similar to the TA phase, the application will not be reviewed until the document is fully signed.
Once an application is moved to project completion under review, it enters the queue for final review. If an application has inaccurate or missing information, it will be moved to project completion clarification requested. Some examples of why an application could be pushed back to this status could be because the date in service was entered inaccurately, or equipment or site information does not match the installation photos provided. When an application is moved back to project completion clarification requested, it will reopen for the installer to correct. Once the necessary changes are made, the installer must press Save and Submit at the bottom of the Documents tab in order for the application to re-enter the queue for review. After an application has been reviewed and approved by MassDEC, it will receive Project Completion Approved status. An email will automatically be sent to all parties with the final project details. This email serves as confirmation for the lender to release the final 65% loan disbursement. If the customer was found eligible for income-based loan support, the payment will go out directly from MassDEC to the lender in the month following their project completion approval. For example, if a project completion is approved in January, the income-based loan support payment will be a part of the February billing cycle. This concludes the Mass Solar Loan Application Process webinar. Please reference the Installer Quick Start Guide for step-by-step instructions on how to submit an application, as well as a list of required documents. We also recommend watching the Mass Solar Loan online application portal technical application demo found on masssolarloan.com on the Installers tab. That wraps up this webinar for today. If you have any questions, please email us at solarloan@massdec.com. Thanks for listening.